Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Woo! Whoop it up! Let's whoop it up again.
We're getting naked, wasted in Maria and crashing our golf carts. It's the Real Housewives of Orange County after show here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
We are here.
We are here for you.
We're here.
I'm your host, Grant Rutter. You can find me on Twitter at Grants__rants. And next to me,
Hey everybody, my name is Christy Olsen. You can find me at Christy Report.
Hello, I am Alison Dean. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. And what's up, Michael Horn and Joseph Boza?
I see Joe Bo.
I see you in chat.
You up in there.
Very nice.
Very nice. And I am Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
Woo!
Yes. That's us.
Yes.
That's us. We're here. The mysterious Blake V.
We've all arrived. Yes.
we've boiled down...
Arrived in our golf cart.
Yes. We've boiled
to do
down
it.
the main points of this episode. I feel like I'm kind of at a loss. I feel like this was almost like an extension of last week's. I feel like they could have almost done like an hour and a half special
Like
of
a
just
part
the
two.
trip.
I agree.
Just the trip, you know, because there wasn't anything really super new brought to the table. But we did learn about, and I want to jump to this first because I thought it was the kind of the highlight of the episode for me anyway, was learning about Shannon's her marriage, the affair that the husband had, and how she was befriending the woman that was sleeping with her husband at the time. None of us,
what a moment.
None of us knew about this, did we? Was this out there?
This is brand spanking new information.
That is some shadiness.
So
stuff.
shady. And you know, we are gathering little bits and pieces every episode that we see about this whole Shannon David affair scenario. And I feel like every episode we get like a little new nugget of information. Precisely, Allison, precisely. And so today's was like, for me personally, was like such a bombshell. I just felt like, okay, we've already dealt with the fact that David has cheated and had this affair. And that's an issue in and of itself. But then to find out that the woman he was having an affair with was befriending Shannon, and that I think we were kind of a bit unclear as to whether or not she knew, like where in the timeline she knew about this affair with the woman. But assuming she didn't know and this woman was befriending her, like just how sickening to have that happen to you, and then also to have the husband know that that's going on and let that happen. Just that was a super icky moment for me.
A whole lot of icky.
A whole lot of
Here
icky.
to that.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
I must say, I am on your page. I was literally like, no, what? No.
Yeah.
No. Those were the words happening in my brain.
Yes, all of that. That was like the same in my brain too.
Yeah, right.
Well, to me now, I feel like we have an established character of who David slept with. I mean, we've heard about there was another woman, we don't know how many, but now there was a woman that had a personal relationship with Shannon, so now it's almost like a new character into the mix.
Yeah.
So it gives like not a face because we still know what she looks like, but it's a real. Now it's like almost more real for me as a viewer.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
and it makes
for
me
sure.
feel like I want to know what she looks like. Just because that's it. It's like an invisible party that we're so privy to now, and it's just like, oh, who is this person? Just simply to put that name to a face.
I want it too.
You know?
I'm with you. People on Twitter want it too.
We all want it. We need to know.
We need to know.
Maybe the Inquisitor will Google a random woman and send it up.
I'm
and
sure
click the person.
they'll have it for us at some point, but I
it's
think
really
this
her.
kind of lends to the
You never
idea
know.
of like, when we do find out who that person is, what will we do with that information?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is true. That is true, because I mean, I'm sure that person
Keep
clearly
her away from our husbands and boyfriends. That's what we're gonna do.
Amen.
That's
Allison
right.
Dean.
She's a marked individual. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure everyone is just trying to like bury that identity as best they can. I'm sure nobody wants that out. Shannon, David, you know, her, the the adulteress. Right? So I don't know. You know, we want to know who, but you're exactly right. What exactly would we do with that information if we did know?
Well, we learned that Vicky and Shannon have a stronger relationship than I thought. They seem to be pretty close.
They're very good friends.
At this point, and they've really only
She called
known
her
each other for a
Shan.
year. Oh, they have pet names for each other. Okay.
That means it's deep.
Shan and Vic.
It's deep.
Well, you can do that. I can't do that with her, though.
No.
She's not like,
I've got the
Allie
one
girl,
syllable.
tell me what's
Like
up.
B. I can call her B.
Same with Grant. I either get G or I used to get G Rant, or back in like 02 it was G Unit. So I don't need any
Oh
of
my
those.
God!
Oh.
In honor
I
of
don't.
the final G
I
time
don't.
in entertainment news, can we deem you please G Unit? I
No,
like that.
hell
Yes,
no.
I like
Absolutely
that.
not.
No?
No. Grant Michael, the Grant Michael collection, whatever that may be.
That sounds fancy.
Grant Michael collection.
I think it's gonna be a collection podcast. I always thought it would be a collection of like fine, watches. I think it's just gonna be podcasting. That's gonna be it, which is fine with me.
I think that was a stroke of genius that just happened that we
thank
were all
you.
privy to.
Maybe I need to change that Twitter handle.
Get to it.
Grant
to it.
Michael collection.
It's very
Of
posh.
what? I don't know. Fine things. Fine things.
That's all you need.
Very expensive things. Anyway, let's get to other things that happened in the show. And let's discuss our cheers and jeers, the highs and lows of this episode. What were some little nuggets that stood out to you in this episode? I'll go first. A little something that I enjoyed was when we had Heather saying, "Oh, I don't drive," and she was carrying her bottle of champagne. I just love that moment. Perhaps she could be a part of the Grant Michael collection. That was a good moment. I liked it. I liked that. And
She is a number one contender for Grant Michael collection. 100%. I'm sorry,
like it.
carry on.
And my jeers go to Lizzie. I kept seeing Lizzie in the corner of the shots. She was under the ocean. I was like, who is that? Who is on this trip? Wait, which one is that one? I kept confusing her. And then I was like, oh, it's the one that was invited that doesn't do anything. It's Lizzie.
Okay.
Lo siento, Lizzie.
There we have it.
I mean, I will give her credit, and at the same time, I will give her credit because she's walking in and out with those sun kitten bags. She's getting as much screen time as she can with the logo. So
She was working it.
I give it to you.
Grant,
What's up?
in chat, Michael Horn has a fantastic idea that you can be deemed G Money.
G Money, okay.
That's a good one.
All right.
I feel like
That's a good
still
one.
Heather
I
would
like
support G Money as well.
It's definitely a step up from G Unit.
And there you have it. The Grant Michael collection has spoken.
This little skinny white guy is now a G Unit.
Yeah.
No, I like G Money
God,
and the
I
Grant
love
Michael
it.
collection.
Yeah,
What
those
were
are
your-
winners.
What were your cheers and jeers, ladies?
Do you have something?
We both do. In fact, I'll take this one. Yay!
Yes, getting ready for the cheer.
There we go.
They
There
know
we
ours
go.
are going to be good. That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
So as we saw in the previous episode last week, we had yet another golf cart moment.
We did.
Tonight, which happens to be my cheers. I like these ladies and their golf carts.
I like it.
Tonight was particularly entertaining. They all had like various moments. Tamara thought it was like bumper cars and tried to run over Vicky's cart, and then Shannon had the champagne, her drink that like spilled all over her when Tamara rammed it, and then Heather was just like a fancy passenger and couldn't drive, and it was like full of shenanigans, and I loved it.
How fast were those women going?
They looked like they were zooming, like speeding.
How fast can a golf cart really go,
I
though?
mean, like maybe
20?
30.
I mean, there's a maximum there for sure.
Totally. The way those camera angles looked like they were just
Yeah.
cruising along, I thought. And I thought it was especially funny because Heather was a bit troubled by the speed of things, and she was like, wait now, people can die in golf carts. This is serious.
She did proclaim that. She did. I recall
I
this.
liked it, yes. And so the moment that I didn't like so much was with Tamra this week when they all went for their underwater activity, which I'm not quite sure the name of, if there's like an official name for it. Snooba.
I think it's Snooba.
Okay, I
think
thought
you're
that was
right.
like a little cutesy thing that Heather created.
No, I think
like,
it is.
a little cutesy nickname, but okay, the Snooba.
I think I'm trying to like in my brain right now figure out it's scuba mixed with something. Maybe in chat they'll tell me. But
Please
yes.
help us out.
That
Yeah.
would be a quick wiki search, I feel.
I know, I should
think so.
try that.
Yeah.
Snuba.
I mean,
why don't I do this?
It looked so much fun. I would do that. I would do any of these water activities. So for Tamra,
snorkeling and scuba. Snuba.
Oh,
There you
yes.
go.
Amen.
Perfect.
There's
We
that
have it.
Jobo on that one.
Love it.
Snuba.
All right.
I like it. Yes. So Tamra threw me off though because we all know her as a very adventurous lady, and she did not go for the snuba, and I was a little disappointed on that one.
Tamara's getting some hate on this podcast.
Be one with the snuba, Tamra.
Be one with the
one with the
snuba. Okay, well, that was actually going to be my. Well, I have two jeers, kind of. So whatever. Good call on that. Okay. My cheers is that the entire episode, someone was holding champagne.
Yes.
And
So fabulous.
Sometimes
Cheers to that. Yes.
Even throwing it in the ocean, they had so much.
What
It was
the hell
everywhere.
was that? They were throwing. I mean, anyway. So I cheers to that.
Literally.
I thought that was very entertaining.
Literally, cheers.
And I guess another jeers outside of the snuba with Tamra was actually also Tamra involved. I was kind of annoyed that she brought up the whole Alison bit with Meghan. I just was like, where are you going with this? It's kind of not necessary. You know what I mean? Like she was deliberately stirring the pot. She was doing the thing that she said she's not doing anymore.
Right.
But she was doing it.
Right.
So that's my jeers.
Yes. My jeers goes to wife number 2 talk as well. We don't need any of that up in here on
No
Real
more of that.
Housewives.
No more.
No.
No.
Well, then let's use that as a transition to talk about this opportunity where they were talking about this Allison and Heather came up, and the question came up if Shannon was trying to cut down Heather by bringing this up. I don't know. The whole situation was kind of fuzzy for me to remember. What do we think? Oh, Allison, what's coming in?
Elizabeth Glorbell says Heather plus Shamps equals OTP.
What does that mean, girl?
OTP.
Girl, is this a
the
hashtag I'm gonna have to start breaking out on my social media?
Elizabeth, what does that mean?
Elizabeth,
We're speaking to you.
Hashtag
Elaborate.
OTP.
We'd love to know.
When we get crazy.
On the... no, I don't know. All right.
All right, you just let us
clearly
know,
I'm not
girl.
hip. I'm not hip.
We all clearly are not. We don't know.
I'm not.
Girl, you let us
Did
know.
you say OTB?
No, it says equals OTP.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I thought it was on the boat or something. But never mind. Yeah,
No.
okay. All right.
That would have been good, Alexis. Nope.
Good guess.
Yeah.
Over the...
A for effort. Alexis.
Over the plane.
Anyway.
Spend the whole evening.
We'll be pondering this the rest of the
So,
episode.
Heather...
One true pairing.
Oh, okay.
That was super
Cheers to
original. We would
Yes.
not have known that.
Yes.
But
I
that's
like
great.
that.
One true pairing.
Thank you,
Round
Elizabeth.
of applause.
I like that they're participating in our cheers and cheers.
Excellent. And I like that cheers
Yes,
sound
it's so
that we
good.
have. It's very
Yes.
Cheery.
complete.
It's very cheery.
So, speaking of this Heather lady, Heather doesn't seem to find a problem with her relationship with Shannon. She's like, it's grown adult stuff, like whatever. And her relationship with Allison, I mean. And the women still continue to have an opinion about it.
Right, and I feel like
course.
Meghan brought up a good sort of angle to this when they were in the boat for the Snuba adventure. Meghan and Tamra were talking, and Tamra was kind of bringing it up as like a thing, an issue, referencing
Stirring
this,
it.
stirring it up.
Emotion.
Stir that pot, girl.
And Meghan just said, well, no, this is, it's fine that Heather's friends with wife number 2. It's fine she's friends with me. We don't mix
Things.
the two, and it is fine.
Right.
And I agree. It's kind of, Heather seems to have been friends via Terry with Jim for some time, and it only makes sense that she would come to know the wives.
Right.
The many wives of Jim. And it's fine. If all the parties involved are fine with it, it should be fine.
So be it.
Yeah. And it's very
Let
telling.
it be. Let it be.
Yes.
Let it be.
And it's super telling. Like, if Jim is okay with 3 ex-wives and children from different marriages happening and all getting in the same family together, if they're cool with it, why can't we be cool with it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
if it
Yep.
works for them and
Yes.
they have made it work between 3 women, which is kind of a big major deal, and we even got a little glimpse tonight of Meghan going, you know what? I'm not 100% cool with Allison, but Heather is, and I'm 100% cool with Leanne. And so we've got a little bit more of a tidbit between Meghan's relationship with Jim's second ex-wife.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't be cool with everybody. I mean,
Yeah,
we've all sort of been kind of surprised that it's all cool between all of them, and this was maybe a bit of an indication that it's not cool. And that's not a surprise, right?
Well, she even went as far as thinking she was an unhappy person.
Yes. And that makes me really wonder about maybe second wife Alison's opinion in this whole matter, because Meghan seems very cool with it. Heather is very cool with being friends with the both.
Right.
But maybe Alison does have a different opinion. Maybe she is upset with it.
Maybe.
It's hard to tell from the information that we know from this episode, but that would
Time
be
heals
interesting.
all wounds.
It does. It really does.
Time heals.
We
have
that
a
would
couple.
be interesting to know.
We have a couple comments in chat. So Michael Horn said, "Yes, I agree with Meghan. It's really none of anyone else's business." And Joseph
true.
Boza said, "I think Vicky." Oh wait, sorry. He said Tamra is such a shit stirrer. Whose business is that? Whose business is it that Leanne and Meghan were friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Well, you know, Jobo, you're an Esther, and that's why we love you. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
ladies, can we put ourselves in that sort of a situation where we have had Meghan and Jim on the show, and we have heard them talk about ex-wife number 1 and number 2, and I think that it can only bode well for everybody to be a great big old happy family
Blended
all
family.
together.
Completely.
But how difficult that probably is,
Like
right?
the Stewarts and Hamiltons.
Yes, girl.
Like those stew hams.
Like those stew hams.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it bodes
No.
well for everybody, right?
It's much better.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and it seems, from what we know, that it is fine, and that they're making it work in their family, and that Meghan was friends with wife number 1, Leanne, and
But she even
that
said
was-
that it took some time for that too,
you
right?
know, yeah, and I'm sure that it does with
Yes,
anything.
absolutely, absolutely.
But they were able to kind of get past whatever it was and then become friendly. So, you know, that sort of to me says that Meghan at least is an amicable sort of person that would be
Right.
willing to sort of meet halfway with any person she's trying to have a relationship with.
Right. I mean,
Fun fact.
That's a big
Yeah.
deal. So
you know
what,
this?
what are they saying on the chat, Alison?
Michael Horn, fun fact, Alison Edmonds was supposed to replace Alexis on Housewives of Orange County for season 8, but backed out when her marriage started to fall apart with Jim. So they brought Alexis back.
You know what? I really
Interesting.
I appreciate that little bit of a tidbit, and I had
Fun fact.
I had uncovered something kind of supplemental to that this week, and that was that Alison, actually the second wife, was supposed to join this cast in 2011. So that would be about the same time. So apparently Jim Edmonds and his repertoire of
They've been
ladies,
a part of this Real Housewives
have
situation
been on the radar for
for-
quite some time. And but you know what? I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
Yeah,
if
whatever. Sure.
we saw kind of the culmination of Leanne and her relationship with Haley and how that all went down, and now we see maybe there's some drama between Meghan and the second wife, and that can only lead to more good stuff.
I wonder.
More juicy
entertaining
business that we want to hear
season.
about.
I want to know if this Allison still resides in Orange County.
It sounds like she does. It definitely sounds like she does. She's got the
then-
younger
Then
kids.
let's connect the dots and bring
There
her
we
on the
have
show.
Get all our
Allison
questions
was
answered.
down. Allison
Yes.
was gung ho to join the show in 2011, and she just apparently decided that she wasn't comfortable with giving up that much privacy
Yeah.
and
Hey, I'm-
sort of
I'm on
playing
that
her
team.
life
I
out in
feel
the
that.
public realm.
Yeah.
I think they should put her
I
on the show.
understand that.
I think they should put her on the show. I think she could
Agreed.
use the, she could probably use the money.
Wait,
She
on
could
our
probably
show or on
no,
Housewives?
no, Housewives.
Both shows.
Both shows. There you go. I like the way you
She
think.
can come join us anytime also,
But
but
I mean, I'm sure she has plenty of money from the divorce, but she could still use the money, the exposure, and I'm sure that Meghan would be game to have her on the show.
Yeah.
I don't think Meghan would have a problem. Meghan is a pretty confident chick. She's the new wife, and this is her show.
That
she's
would
been at
be
it
such
before.
an interesting plot twist if
Such
they
an
did that.
interesting dynamic.
Like, ooh la la.
Yeah.
and
that
just a
would be
little
very
tidbitty
intense.
too. Allison is only 35 years old. We all know that Jim is a little bit older and apparently has a taste for these younger ladies. So
Next
Alison herself is only a few years older
we
than
have
Meghan.
it.
So
This is all so interesting. This is very
Catty.
Yes,
Well,
all this news this week.
I would like to see Vicky and Allison have a few scenes together because Vicky's still standing by the fact that this is disrespectful to the mothers of all children.
Yeah.
She's the second week in a row. She's like, that's still disrespectful. It's still disrespectful. So she won't let it go. Imagine the conversation they could have. What did you think of Vicky's behavior this week?
You know, I thought it was a little... At least what they showed of her moments is that it just was a little much. It was a little much. It was a little aggressive, I thought. I mean, look, some of the stuff that came out of her mouth was, you know, you could get behind it, but at the same time, it's almost like she was beating a dead horse on some of it. So, you know.
Yeah, I feel like she was really only that way towards
Meghan,
and the parenting issue.
Yes.
I feel like everything else that we've seen in the episode is very true to Vicky.
That's true.
Just kind of her behavior and, you know, what else we've seen.
I should have said with Meghan.
Yeah. But yeah, particularly with Meghan. Yeah. Especially, you know, Meghan kind of brought up a good point of Vicky initially saying, oh, well, you're not their mom, so back out of that role. And then kind of on the flip side of things at the end of the episode saying, no, get on in there. Even more. Fix this situation.
That was very, very like, what? Hello.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't have everything.
Yeah, no, completely. And like, I feel that Vicky's concerns were valid. I mean,
sure.
From what we learned about this daughter, this 17-year-old, it sounds like it's not promising. But
Of course, sorry to interrupt, but of course, Vicky's like, does she work? Like,
Right.
she is obsessed with people working.
Well,
It's
I
like,
worked.
Just not about everybody.
I worked
about the
since I
girl
was 14,
power.
so I agree.
Put 'em up.
You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Amen.
No,
And
I just
she
love.
doesn't-
I just love it. That's Vicky's like her fallback. She always comes back to the. Does he work? Does he work? What does he do? Does he work?
Which is very funny, but also kind of true. I mean, I don't know. In this particular scenario, I kind of felt like Vicky's concerns, because they were just concerns, were valid, but her delivery
Was a little oof.
Yeah, in kind of like just drilling Meghan and being like, "You're doing this wrong."
I have to say, when Meghan responded in the first like dinner scene that they had when Vicky was prodding her, I thought she handled it very well. In the sense of she was like, "I understand what you're saying." I was like, "Oh, Meghan,
Yeah.
way to go!"
Very
'Cause she
calm
could
and
have
collected.
easily blown the whistle or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the best.
she's taking all the criticism very well. I mean, she had her little momentary outburst, emotional, kind of emotional outburst last week, which, with all respect, was fairly brief. We all kind of had our opinions about what she was saying anyways, but she had a moment, but then pulled it together and she's back in business. So, she's, for the most part, been handled. I mean, it's a lot of ladies. It's a lot of criticism.
It's a lot of ladies who
ladies.
haven't sort of been in this position before. They have all dealt with the stepmother, but they have not been the stepmother.
Completely. Yes. So their advice and their criticisms are really kind of
They can't quite see things from her perspective.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
and I can really appreciate where Meghan would want to find a common ground with these ladies and want to find something to relate to them on. This isn't that.
Yeah.
This isn't.
She's
this
trying
isn't
for it to be.
Try shoes.
right. Yes.
Shoes.
Yes, girl. Yeah, because you're the stepmother, and a lot of these women's children have stepmothers, but they're not the stepmother.
Very true.
So,
Very true.
Right.
So, how about our final dinner?
Well,
that we saw
I
tonight?
actually was hoping to jump back real quick
Oh,
to
good,
the
yes.
shit stir comment or the pot stir. Sorry. And if Tamara was given that title early on in this episode, and
Tamara was given that title early on in her Real Housewives career.
Yes. But so it came back, the rivalry between her and Shannon. We saw shades of that again, where there's that lack of trust. And then Shannon she got in that argument with all the women, mainly with her and Meghan, and I understood what she was saying. Shannon was saying, look, we're all pot stirrers here, every single one of us. And then of course Meghan turned it right around on her and said, like you tonight. And then she said, we saw, she said, Storm, go ahead, leave. And so of course, what did we see? She left.
What
again.
did I say after that? I was like, she is made for a soap opera.
Yes.
Like even her delivery, I was like, it was like as though they cut it out of Days of Our Lives.
I
it was like they
feel
plucked it right out of there.
Yes.
I feel like we had the same comment last season. I feel like we said that about Shannon, the way that she was having interactions with her husband. She has these dramatic shades to her with how she comes across with things and the staring and the hand movements. I think you have a really good point there.
Yes, the melodramas.
Well, really, truly, it was wow.
Yeah,
I'm so full of information tonight.
yes, it's enlightening.
I have
exactly what it is.
one syllable things coming out of my mouth tonight. It's fantastic.
That's all that we expect from you. Alice.
Only the best.
So
we
not
just
good.
we
Yes.
just want
Wise
one syllable
words.
from you, girl.
Wise words.
Glad I can deliver.
Yeah, no,
So,
that was
so
a rough interaction for sure.
So I mean, can we really say that Tamra's the only pot stirrer here? Why don't these
no.
other women own it? Vicky is one of the biggest ones.
Right, that is completely
Vicky's
true.
the queen pot stirrer.
Yes.
She truly is.
She is, and even I tweeted today, and I had an interview with Heather and Terry from a couple weeks before the season started, and Heather retweeted my tweet today. I said, do you guys think that this season is as real as Heather sort of promised? In my interview, she was like, there's no self-producing. You're going to see a real season of the Orange County Ladies. And she retweeted it herself. So I think that they all think that they're giving us real Orange County. And we can only appreciate that, right?
For sure, yeah.
Especially after last season.
So Elizabeth Glorbell,
What are they saying? What do we
she
have?
said Meghan is so quick on her feet, and I love her. She is very quick. I gotta say that girl. She
is.
Yep.
But I've been curious to see kind of what the viewers think of the newbie.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Meghan, the newbie.
Right.
Yes,
Well-
it's good. We're getting all the comments.
Yeah.
Well, Tamra and Meghan share a lot of the same qualities, and one thing that Tamra did was put everything out on the table. She's like, "We're gonna try something new with this group," and it didn't really work. But I mean, that's like that would be my approach. I'd be like, "All right, we're all here. We're all like trapped on this island together. Let's cut through the what
hash
and
it
like
out."
put everything out there."
Yeah.
And I thought that would be the most diplomatic thing to do. And of course, these women cannot
Nope.
handle it.
Nope, they
Right.
can't. They can't handle the truth.
Honesty is not the
Can't do
best
it.
policy in reality television.
Yeah, because it turns into just that. Stirring and like getting everyone's emotions in a tizzy over things that were not even like meant a certain way or what have you.
Joseph Boza just said, let's be honest. Tamra has been that for the 7 seasons that she's been on the show.
Oh yes.
She has
yes,
a purpose.
Very true. Very
She
true.
has-
Although in the exchange between Shannon and Meghan, kind of the moment where Shannon storms out, that was like a very Shannon response to the storming out, because like we saw that in Napa when they went to do their whole Heather hosted wine
Yes.
extravaganza.
And last season she did it as well.
Yeah.
At the
So
beach
that's-
house.
Totally. So that's like really her MO, is to get fired up, get upset, say her piece, and then storm away. And
Peace.
I do, for real. And I would like to see a little more like resolution. Just fix it. Just don't be ridiculous and don't storm away, and don't let it elevate you to that level of storming out. Take it for what it is and squash it.
I think it would have
Sort
been
it
so
out.
much better if she just stood there like as
Yeah.
I think it would have been so much better if she like literally just like looked Meghan in the face and been like
Like a stare
honey,
contest.
Oh honey, you don't want to do this shit. And like that's it. And then just like that's it. 'Cause she doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
It's like Shannon doesn't need
Yeah.
you, but instead she reacts so fiery. Like
Yeah.
don't let it affect you that much.
Right.
And
Because she could
does.
have something over on these ladies. She could say to Shannon, or she could just go, I'm shutting it down now. Like, you caused the drama and I'm done now.
Yeah, and I think
she
Meghan-
doesn't do that.
Megan would have totally respected that too, I think.
Yeah,
if she
for
was like,
sure, yeah.
I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah, because the storming out is like fuel to this fire to say like, oh, see, she doesn't want to handle it. She just storms away. Which when that happens, it's sort of like,
Yeah, that's what we've seen from her.
I gotta
for
say,
sure.
chat is on fire tonight.
fire.
What are they
Yeah.
saying? What are
What do
the
we have now?
chatty?
It's incredible
Chatty.
what's happening right now.
What do we have?
What are they
Yeah.
saying?
So Vicky was on Watch What Happens Live. We saw that in
Yes.
Right.
in our. It was segueing into that,
Yes.
but we had to come
Come
film.
here.
We're here for y'all.
But apparently, so 2 things went down tonight. One, Andy asked Vicky how her mother was doing accidentally, and then
No.
and then she
All right,
realized
that's
and then she looked at him and he realized what he did. And he was like, what I meant to say was, how is your family doing after, like, the aftermath kind of a thing? And I was like,
no.
ooh, that's
Oh my God!
oofta.
Really? First of all,
Okay.
he's basically told what to ask. He's got cards in front of him. That show is pre-written for him.
And
that
he
is
doesn't
ridiculous.
F up very often. Like, that's kind of
That's
major.
serious.
No, but that is really stupid.
Why?
I mean,
I know. I was
Oh
like,
my.
but
Oh
it gets
my.
better.
that's really ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
And-
There's more, folks.
Well, I don't know if it gets better, but also, Vicky said tonight that she thinks casting Meghan was a mistake. Oh dear. So, and then Elizabeth responded, Vicky just hates Meghan. Elizabeth in chat.
Could be.
Yep.
Could be. Because we still have the whole rest of the season
She
to
hates
go.
everybody who's new.
And then Joseph said it's probably because Meghan is 30 and hotter, and plus, sources are telling Radar Online that the reason Meghan moved to the OC was specifically for the show.
yes, I read that today as well.
There you have
I
it.
mean, it would make sense if they had their sort of relationship going in St. Louis and, this opportunity calls. Why not make the move to Orange County, you know?
Well, as we speculate, let's look forward and predict what's coming up in Orange County.
All right, we covered it all?
Your AFTERBUZZ TV.
I have more to say.
Tell us.
Oh, no, I mean, not about what's pertaining to right now. I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
But
She'll leave a paragraph under
Nonetheless.
our YouTube comments.
I have been waiting for this whole Brooks cancer
Yes!
situation to arrive.
Finally.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
it looks like next week it will be on
Let's
freaking
have
in
it.
focus.
Yes, it's coming up.
Yes, and I'm ready. And we see this massive blow up between Vicky and Brooks and Shannon and David. So Shannon has done something.
And
She's
Vicky and Shannon. It
True.
looked like.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Precisely. Shannon rather, looks like she's really done some sort of prodding or something to offend Vicky, and it looks bad. I'm excited.
I like it. Me too.
I second
I'll be
everything.
there.
I second everything she said. Exactly. No, it's true. We were talking about that in chat also, how we're excited to see, because they really were teasing this in all the previews before the season started.
Yes.
This whole thing. So, although I don't think the little tidbit that we got tonight was the fact that it was a psychic that
Yeah.
said, and so I feel like they were hiding that from us. We didn't know, right? We didn't get that little, did we get that? Where it was like,
No.
oh, a psychic
Prior
said?
to this episode,
We-
no,
right.
that's
we
the
were-
first I've ever
We
heard.
were always curious where that speculation was coming
Right.
from. Now it's from a psychic. Okay.
And the
All right.
last sort of clear, or the last person of that sort of
Nature.
realm, but didn't seem to be winning everyone over. So let's
Yeah.
see how this person.
Yeah, it's a very,
Oh yeah.
it's a very curious fact, and kind of the way they got it is a little interesting. If they're basing everything off of what the psychic said, I feel like that's not very valid.
Yeah, it's very odd and kind of
Yeah.
strays from what we've seen before, but it kind of goes along with the theme of the season. And so I kind of think too that maybe for the first time we're going to see Shannon and Vicky go at it a little bit. But at the
Yes.
same time, I think that Shannon is the kind of personality who will just go along with whatever the stronger person says, and that's Vicky. So
Yeah,
I think
could
we're going
be.
to see a whole lot of Shannon jumping on the Vicky bandwagon.
Yeah, I know it's such a juxtaposition from tonight's episode where
Yes.
they had their little bonding
Yeah.
moment on the beach, and I won't betray you either. And then
That's just so gross, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, we'll be watching when you all betray each other.
Yeah.
well put, Christy.
Sorry to
true.
say. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, not sorry.
It'll be interesting to see how the men react to this, because you got David, who has the same expression on his face no matter what's going on, and Brooks, who just loves being on the show. So it'll be interesting to see what really goes down next week at that dinner.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, ladies.
can't wait.
Where can we keep the conversation going on social media?
Yes.
Oh, everybody, please check me out at Christy Reports. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and you can check out ChristyReports.com. There's some new exclusives there for all of you reality TV fans.
Check it out.
Check it out. And I'm Alison Dean. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. There you
Yes,
have
you
it.
can. You can find her there.
You can find me there.
And I'm Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
She is there. She is there.
And you can find me over on Twitter at Grants__rants. And if you're a Big Brother fan, I stopped over there last week to talk about a couple episodes previously, and it was a really good chat. So if you're a fan of that, check it out. I had a really good time with them. They were a good panel. So yeah, all right, that'll do it for us for the Real Housewives of Orange County.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.